In a moment, it's time to end the ride. Fading it too slowly. Were those gonna lift me up this time? You were the only one who got me tripping up inside. All the words you told me, am I reading something different from your eyes? See you for a moment, even hope that I can feel you. I see you, all that I wanted was to tell you that I need you. I see you for a moment, even hope that I can feel you. I see you, all that I wanted was to tell you that I need you. Now I'm finally right here with you.
Loot.bet, made for live betting.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Final map of the series to come. Final Tribe versus Alternate Attacks. It's been an interesting one so far. Inferno maybe ending a little more prematurely than we expected, but Gary Parties, I think we both kind of concur that TFT needed to win that second map to really have a chance of survival in the series. ATN, Gary Parties, they can just run over Train at this point, but it's all about how TFT bounce back, I feel like. Because we know that ATN can play Train. It's all about how TFT show us what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's, as we were kind of saying in the pregame, not the best map to be ending on for the Final Tribe. They have not played it a great deal, and it has not been massively successful, at least in terms of the raw statistics on HLTV, which, you know, sometimes a good place to start, but not always, as we've seen across the course of the day, not always the be-all and end-all. So it is definitely doable, but I think it's going to be tough. Today, though, I feel it has been a bit more of a matchup thing. You know, we saw on that first map early on, Alternate Attacks underestimating the Final Tribe. They eventually get a read on them, but not quite a strong enough one, and then kind of become their own worst enemies towards the end. But they bounce back really, really well with a fairly decisive victory on Inferno. And now we come into Train, where if they get to start on the CT side again, or get into the CT side, you know, with a good number of rounds on the terrorist side, then I feel like it could be their map, and it's looking like the knife round is going to go their way as well, which is absolutely perfect. So I think this is going to be really difficult for the Final Tribe, starting on the weaker side, up against the Alternate Attacks on their more comfortable side. The double up setup runs rampant on this map, and we saw how Mantu and Slacks were performing, so I have got high hopes here for Alternate Attacks to take this one cleanly.
Yeah, I've definitely got to agree. I think this map really does fare up for them, does give them, I think, a more clear-cut opportunity than we could have imagined for the other two maps. I think this one definitely plays into their hands a lot more. So, yeah, CT side is, again, going to be a better opportunity for them. We just have the opportunity for a better start. And Final Tribe, they'll be on that T side. Two sets of utility this time. Smokes all ready to be deployed out toward the A bomb site, but a little bit of a ruse, a small fake to come an ATM. Well, they've read it beautifully. Slacks, what a way to begin. A double kill already out of him, and we do see Dude take out one as well. It seems like the round is already gone. A 5-on-2 in the pistol. Dude gets quicked on the come up. And well, ATN maybe starting as expected, but maybe not as clean as we would have thought. 5 players still alive, and Wolfie, he'll be damn near blessed to get anything out of this so far.
Yeah, it does manage to find one, so a small blessing. But he's going to need a goddamn miracle, honestly, if he's going to take this. I suppose he gets the first one cleanly and has plenty of time to play with. Nice flash goes in. Does actually blind up both the players. Maybe if he had a USP, but that Glock is very hard at distance, as we all know. And he will end up going down despite the nice flash. And the pistol goes the way of alternate attacks. Definitely a question of when rather than if there. And a relatively easy one for them as well.
Yeah, now that they do have that first round, I think alternate aTTaX, they will try and stabilize early. But again, pistols to be forced up by TFT. We know the fact that how sporadic these can be. But CT side so far off to a good start and a lot of damage done. That's the way to begin in that current scenario. Slacks a great nade onto Wolfie as well, wrapping things up fairly quickly toward Ivy. A couple of players now letting through Pop Dog and up to that B holes. It seems like ATN now be starting as clean as it comes here. All 5 players still alive in this one, of course, after only losing the first in the previous Mantu. And Slacks wrapping it up. Nice second round out of ATN, keeping things pristine so far. Vanity last man alive. This should be a 3-0, of course, forced by amounting to absolutely nothing. A big confidence boost out of ATN. That second map going to resonate massively with them. I think momentum should be carrying over from that. You can clearly see they're feeling the good vibes. Way better than the first map of this series. Way better than the series yesterday. Looking like a much more improved side. Cressy's performing. Those AWPs are popping off. It's a way better day for ATN so far.
We'll see here. A little bit of damage, but unfortunately, again, no opportunity to find anything for Vanity as we would expect. And yeah, looking really good. That was up against a full buy as well, or, well, a forced buy, as we say. But, you know, every penny spent by the final tribe, and they don't really find anything. A few points of damage, no bomb plant or anything like that. You know, very, very clean, like you were saying, from alternate aTTaX. And that is the best possible start for them. And probably going to get up to a third here. Just the one flash and 3 P250s in tow for the final tribe. Not really expecting too much from them. Maybe, again, force a bomb plant, but not looking too likely. It's a fairly telegraphed A-rush coming in. Dude will get one, does take a fair amount of damage, and these P250s up against the SMGs can definitely fight back. And that is what they're doing right now. They pick up 2, make it 3, in fact, bringing it into a 2-on-2. I'd still have to hand it to the CTs, because now they're up against the AUG especially, which is going to be very difficult. But going into the first rifle round, it's some pretty nasty damage traded, and if they're able to find anything more, it could be pretty huge for them. Mantu goes down for free, no armor at all here, and they've picked up 4 kills. Stefan is in between both of them, though, drops 1, and has the bomb, importantly, so they have to play into his hands. And again, the AUG against unarmored opponents, it should be easy for him. There's no potential of being caught off guard. He has a vague idea. It is close. It is very close. But alternate aTTaX get their third, and we were just praising them. Oh, it's looking good. Very clean first 2 rounds, and thank God it was, because, you know, it would have been a very difficult buy coming into this one if that second round had been close as well. But thankfully enough, they're able to get themselves a clean start and therefore a strong buy into the first rifle round.
And thank God they do have that money banked up for the previous final tribe into their first investment, though. They know now that, especially after doing so much damage in that one, that ATN are very close to breaking point, and you can see off of the back of the reinvestment, 3 players now seriously struggling. Black's missing the boost first time. Thankfully, he doesn't get countered by a T-side peak. Could have been a little detrimental, but 4 rifles and a Krieg. Well, 5 rifles, one of them being the Krieg. No AWP to be realistically challenging any of these angles with, but Black so far does take a little bit of damage, but as an AWP, nothing to be worried about. This T-side looking to kickstart their endeavor here on this third map. I mean, I don't think we've seen in this series as of yet anyone take quite an amountable lead. I mean, there's always been a couple of rounds back and forward. No one's had a clear-cut 5-6-0, I don't think. Maybe that's the time for aTTaX to master something up. See what they can find. But 45 seconds on the clock and a fairly slow start to the round from TFT. Again, it's this slow pace what can definitely catch aTTaX off guard. The AWP is going to be in such a prime position, though. And as Cressy takes out 2, that all but confirms that aTTaX might just be keeping it clean here yet again in another round. The first gun round. Consequently, they will find 1 trade in return, but Perron now down to 28. Wolfie himself has been tagged, and what a round for aTTaX to close. Only losing 4 players. So stable so far. And the final tribe going to be feeling the full-blown force of this CT side. Surely an eco to come, maybe a couple of pistols here and there. Round lost bonus is building. This is surely going to be a 5-0 beginning, and it's picture perfect so far for aTTaX.
The infamous deco coming into play, though. I'm sure across the course of our careers, we've seen plenty of these go awry for the team on the other end of proceedings. In this case, aTTaX. No utility. Well, a flashbang. Essentially no utility. But it is just the Deagles. And especially on train, they can really put up a good fight. We saw in the third round where it was the P250, against the SMGs. Unfortunately, no SMGs in play, but this is kind of the upgraded version of that fight. The Deagles against the M4s and AUGs, particularly. Can never write them off, but at the moment, it does seem they are cleanly dealing with things. And Vanity's here with his flashbang, like, all right, guys, are we ready? Oh, no, we're dead. Oh, all right, then. Well, I guess we're just going. So Vanity and Quicks trying their damnedest here. Vanity will find 1. Gets his hands back onto the bomb, but yeah, unfortunately, too many angles, too many players, not enough time to react, and it will be a clean 5th coming in for aTTaX. So really looking good here early on train.
Yeah, and again, a really clean start out of out of aTTaX. TFT now. Gun round going. See them investing once again. AWP this time into the hands of Quicks. Something that we didn't actually see all too often on Inferno. Maybe that we should have done. Already to be closing down the first man. Stefan will fall. And Slack's not allowed to peek. So a nice first opening. A nice piece final tribe have been able to get. Vanity has been tagged. The same for Quicks, but no consequential damage. No trades to be made just yet. Mantu going to push himself up close, though. The lineup nearly happened there if they'd have dissipated in the smoke a little bit sooner. HNS, though, oh my god, catches out the first. Knows of 2 further players. Could have gone from bad to worse, but it seems like this time final tribe will be keeping themselves elevated. But Cressy, well, he has something to say about it. Takes out the second and will finally fall. It's all onto Slacks. An AWP, not particularly the best weapon for a 1-on-2. Definitely something that he can work with, especially with the fact that they have no idea where he's approaching from at the moment. If he peeks out into this plant, might just work out greatly. Going to swing for it. This gets a little risky. Does spot him inside of the smoke, though. Lands the first. Oh boy, Vanity down to 55. HP, of course, doesn't matter, but the fact that Slacks has been able to isolate this now into the 1-on-1, it forces Vanity into a very uncomfortable position. Can get a tap on the bomb, potentially. Has the kit to work with. Wouldn't be surprised if he trades into the rifle, and well, that's exactly what he did. Looks for the spam as well. Waits for the tap on it. Goes for the peek. Slacks, he will get it. Has he got the time? I think he has with the kits, and oh my god, he does. aTTaX, a clean beginning again. Not allowing TFT any entrance to this round. So close, but yet so far in a 6-0 that keeps it clean for aTTaX once more.
Yeah, it is definitely the closest we've had. And that's both a good thing and a bad thing for Final Tribe. You know, it's great that they're slowly but surely knocking on the door, but they feel like they probably should have won that one. And just as you feel you're going to get around, it gets snatched away. Taken from the jaws of victory, unfortunately. And that's a bit of a flip of the classic phrase. So not going to be feeling too good. Trying to go for the double peek here, but Slacks is holding it down perfectly. Dude doesn't find the kill, but does a hell of a lot of damage on top of the kill they've already got. I mean, it's just salt in the wound, really. And Alternate Attacks, again, off to a very strong start. Set to get their 7th if they just continue to play their cards right, which at this point I don't see them putting a foot wrong. And even if they do, as we saw in the previous round, you know, they put a couple feet wrong, they still have the individuals available to step up who are just, I think, a lot more comfortable with Train than their opponents right now.
And especially for the fact as well that aTTaX just bouncing back so hard. TFT not going to have any sort of money in the next if they were to lose this. And ooh, Slacks does get caught out. Back into a 3-on-2. But as I say, that is all down to Quicks. Burning in the molly, down to 31. Already has been tagged very low. Does Cressy know of the position? That could be interesting. Lines the first and gets out of the back of it. Tap onto the bomb at least, but Cressy now wide in the open will take it, though. 7-0, and aTTaX again keeping it. Picture perfect. Comes close in these rounds. Really does. Gets to the point where TFT, if they just micromanage the situation a little bit better, it looks like they get themselves around. But aTTaX are just always there for the trades, always there for the refrags, and thankfully can still keep buying. The bomb plant going to give them a surplus amount of cash yet again. Quicks back onto the AWP with the 4 rifles for the support, but at the moment, Alternate Attacks only a single round away from putting the first half victory on the board, and again keeping a flawless streak thus far. Cressy lands the first HNS for the refrag, but back into a 2-on-2. Oh, sorry, a 3-on-3 after 2 kills traded per team. Slacks to drop the smoke, gives up his position, but keeps himself safe. Flash was good, but Quicks lucky to be alive. If he goes for the repeat, might be dead here, Slacks, but has to be very, very careful. Molotov, though, might just force him out of position. Backfires, but he actually works it in his favor somehow. Vanity now last man alive in a 1-on-3. And it seems like aTTaX, they're confirming first half already.
Yeah, looks really good from them. And, I mean, they get the 8-round victory in 8 rounds. So, flawless stuff. The question now is, how far does this go? Can the final tribe put a stop to it? And, yeah, like you say, that Molotov is hilarious. I don't know. I suppose maybe Quick's thinking after he'd thrown it, he'd looked away towards Ivy, thinking he'd landed it properly. It's a tough call. It needed someone to step up in that round for Final Tribe, because, again, there was a moment where it was in doable territory, but unfortunately, once again, it is Alternate Attacks to just edge ahead. They're going to force the half buyout of the Final Tribe, where the B-bomb site is a reasonable goal. It's not difficult to get to by any means for the T side. You can just kind of body block your way in and get the bomb plant. Oh, especially if you're able to open up with some crisp one-deeks. Dude is still here at the back of the site. He too going to get taken down. So Vanity looking good here. They are getting overwhelmed by the Deagles. They do trade a couple back, but the gap is closing. Mantu, though, stepping it up. Again, those individuals, ever reliable. Perrin's gotten his hands onto a bit of stronger weaponry, but the flank coming in from Stefan is going to end proceedings, and it will be a 9th round. They get the bomb down. They do a bit of damage. If it was close, I would say good round, keeping the economy modest, but it's not. Alternate Attacks are not too bothered. I suppose, to be fair, even though they do have 9 in a row, again, the nature of this CT side, they're still not spiraling out of control, and they're not, you know, balling with the amount of money that they've got. It is a little tight in places, so I suppose that's the silver lining of this round for Final Tribe. But damage is good, but they need rounds on the board. It's just, you know, it needs to be great at this point. Good is not good enough.
That's the unfortunate aspect. Anything that TFT are doing at the moment, I know aTTaX just do better, unfortunately, at least. Quicks will land the early frag. Mantu onto that secondary AWP. Stefan picked up one off of Slacks' dead body, but the information already transcribed to Cressy. That gives the first kill instantly back in the favor of this aTTaX side, and only a single round away from double digits does just make their life so much harder here. Cressy lucky to get out alive there. Head was nearly spotted on the peak, but I think he is safe for now, and has to play fairly reserved. Doesn't want to offer himself up here to Vanity, which would honestly crack open that A-bomb site for TFT to go taking. Nice tag onto Quicks. Unfortunate, not able to land the kill. Vanity will take out Cressy, this time looking a lot better for Final Tribe. Finally have a man advantage to work with. They just have to convert it here into a round. I think if they lose this one, it's breaking point for this entire first half. If they drop this, a 4-on-3 that looks good so far. A rotate back toward the B bomb site to come from TFT. They will have dude already in opposition, but oh, they've read this really well, actually. Stefan's here as well. Not too sure how good this looks now for TFT. They have to get out onto the site fairly flawlessly. Smoke to go down, but they're already aggressing. Stefan, there's the first. As Vanity looks for the peak. Will dude over approach? I think he might do. Well, he grabs himself the first. He'll trade it back. The bomb to be planted, but Wolfie caught out and Quicks. He's down to 33. No Molotov for him to be able to deny the defuse, and all he has to work off of is that AWP, and as soon as he peeks out, Aid will miss, but Mantu lands 10-0, and a 4-on-3 that even TFT can't convert.
Yeah, and it's really not looking good. Like I say, I think as a team, Alternate aTTaX looking good here, but it is just, as we see in this round, dude picking up a 2K. You know, I think the individuals are so comfortable that they can reliably just be like, right, we need someone to step up here. It's going to be me. I know the timings. I know the positions really well. I'm feeling so good right now. You know, combined with the map knowledge that they seem to have, there is also that confidence coming in. You just sort of get to like an ascended level of Counter-Strike where the decisions that normally would seem a little bit stupid and a little bit risky are just going your way. So it feels like you're unstoppable. And that's just the way that they're playing. It's just really working out. You know, we saw Mantu the round before that. Obviously, the 1v2 from Slacks. It's just really not looking good for TFT. They are fighting as best they can, but it's just not good enough. Losing 2 very early on in this round as well, as the trend continues. They're able to buy up with the loss bonus and the bomb plant relatively consistently. You know, got an AWP in play, got a fair amount of utility to work with. But again, it's just not enough, and that seems to be the tagline for this map here. Nice positioning from Cressy, takes down one. Able to back away towards Olaf, not going to survive, but does a fair amount of damage and buys some time. Vanity is really trying here, as he has been in so many rounds. This UK prospect looking so very good, in fact. One that, when I've been in and around the UK scene for the past sort of year and a half, 2 years, have not really heard a great deal about. Maybe there are some players and some people with their ear a bit, you know, closer to the ground. Maybe they do know who he is, but he's looking really good, to be fair, on train. He's been the one standout fact, and he leaves it now in a 1-on-2 for Mantu to try and convert. Coming in on the flank, they're not ready for this, actually, especially because I think they're under the impression that he's the AWPer, so it is certainly an odd choice to be moving this way in. The bomb is planted for them. He's going to have a good idea. He's just going to try and go for the ninja, and for the love of their mental strength, thankfully they're able to take him down. If he'd have pulled off that ninja, I think they would have just left the server, honestly. That would have been the final nail in the coffin. But Final Tribe finally managed to get their first round on the board.
Crazy part is as well, we've only had to win 1 round and ATN are broken, so MP9
True.
out for Cressy already. I mean, they do have a double AWP setup, but I mean, if they make 2 in a row, which right now, with a little bit of maybe mental resurgence, doesn't seem all too out of character, ATN will be back down to square one. It'll be an eco they have to take. So even with double digits, could even see a 10-5, 11-4 half that Final Tribe can sort of muster up. But yeah, as you mentioned, Vanity not particularly as well versed as some of the UK boys that we've more commonly known to associate. I think he was more like a smoocher. He got out of the UK scene as quick as he could to join the side that maybe he felt more comfortable with. I mean, at this point, definitely seeming out of character, but oh, dude, just catching out the first, now into a 3-on-2. The flank will be covered by Quicks, though. That's a really good kill to take just because it levels out the man advantage, and 2 AWPs on a site hold, never a good prospect, but can definitely work out. Cressy, though, somehow stays alive there, takes out Wolfie, and Quicks, now last man alive. Do they know where he is? I think they do. And it's back to square one. ATN picking up another round. Final Tribe will get the bomb plant, but 20 bonus, of course, not out of out of the question as of yet. So 10 to 1 turns into 11. They will be able to rebuy, of course. 2 AWPs saved. But I mean, even if aTTN give up these next 3 rounds, this first half has been mightily fine for them. One of the biggest advantages that we've seen aTTN gather through the entire series so far, and through the entire 2 series that we've seen them in over the past couple of days.
Slower start this time around from Final Tribe as they set up around Pop Dog. Bit of aggression coming in, but you can just kind of see as well, not going for the 2-man drop. That's kind of a given most of the time when you're on the T side of Train. So not really ideal. Double flash coming in. Does blind up one, but not quite the second. So Stefan goes down. Slacks, though, is here to pick up the pieces. Another one in around E-Box. Another one in around Sandwich, about to come around the corner. And he does need to be careful. Careful he is. Hitting all the shots. Slacks. My goodness. Vanity will eventually take him down. But essentially just the 1-on-4 hold from Slacks. As I think he missed 1 bullet, maybe. Fantastic stuff. They know where Vanity is. He's trapped in from one end of Pop Dog. He's got plenty of time to play with and the bomb available. Now the choice that he makes in the next few seconds or not, dude, just spotting him out is really not feeling it, though. Really not sure whether he's going to be turning around. I mean, Vanity is just committed to holding for some aggression to see if anyone's going to pull off a flank. Now going to start to push forwards. The Mantu has moved down and will take him out. I think he was up in heaven earlier on, but changed his position off the back of the information, I think, that dude was able to secure. But yeah, this is just nice double opener. It was more the one at Sandwich that was up close, where I kind of thought he was like blinded up, I think. And I was like, right, this is where he gets pushed and taken down. But no, he survives and gets another kill as well.
And this is a really nice way to be going about things for aTTN. So dominant, considering that these first 2 maps, again, were pretty tied up like they were against Dream Eaters. I mean, they've really blown them out of the water in this one so far. More of an A-site take. That shot nearly landed there from Slacks as well. Again, an A-site take. Damage to be given to Wolfie and to Quicks. First kill found. Second as well. Mantu, even with a trade, not going to get all too much out of this. They might have even forced aTTN to rotate. Yeah, and they will do. Wolfie going to get himself inside of the back lines of CT. Cressy will take at least the trade, but dude will be the man to fall first into a 3-on-2. It might just look like TFT get themselves a second round. Could even be a third. They've broken aTTN if they take this one. 2-on-3 that might just see them going for a save. Slacks in back lines of CT. Does spot the first man on Bomb Train. And will be able to take him down, but time is of the essence. There's none of it left, and Final Tribe at least guaranteeing themselves a second round. But even though 2 M4s are saved, third should be on the cards for sure, for the fact that as aTTN buy up into this next one, you can see they're very, very limited. Cressy might drop out a MP9 or so to his teammate, but apart from that, it's going to be fairly limited on the form of buy rounds. Dude already down to a pistol. Yeah, there we go. UMP to be expended. Maybe, just maybe a chance that TFT bring this to light and get a third on the board. Just to make that first half look a little bit more respectable. Then it's the second, of course, that can provide the fight back, but seems like aTTN, no matter the scoreline, whether it's 12-3 or 13-2, might just be so far out in front that TFT can't catch them at this point.
Yeah, they do need to be secure in this one, though. Any little helps at this point, really. Oh, and that's a beautiful opener from Cressy. I thought he was going to get 1 and then get traded, but actually gets 2. Dude, meanwhile, is pushed up, catches Vanity off guard. Oh, man. It is just tough, you know. It feels almost like, look, the 2 rounds that they've won, because alternate attacks are just still on a tear, still got plenty of momentum. Doesn't matter what weapons they've got in their hands, they're always feeling confident. But it's actually really well done. You know, they kind of recognize it's like Cressy is one of 2 players with a strong weapon here. Let's put him in a good position and facilitate him. And he's able to just, you know, be the catalyst that gets the ball rolling and allows them to secure their 13th, despite the weakness of the bye. So really, really good stuff from Alternate aTTaX. Final Tribe, unfortunately, I kind of thought it would be, Alternate aTTaX taking it, especially starting on the CT side, but Final Tribe just looks so unprepared here, and Alternate aTTaX, it's clinical. They're just picking them apart round after round after round, it seems.
Yeah, they've blown them out of the water here, unfortunately. I think that's being shown a lack of performance out of Perron as well. Even with Vanity on 15 kills, it's nothing close to special. But with that being said, we'll see whether or not Final Tribe can bring a fight back into the second half of this third map after a short break from Loot.bet.
Loot.bet, made for live betting.
Here we go. Final Tribe. Scary part is lose this pistol. Most likely lose the game, so it all resides in what they can bring into the CT side. At least bringing a defuse kit to the CT beginnings onto Quicks, but TN, it's been a stomping ground so far, and the scary part is it feels like it's going to continue. You might be pleasantly surprised, though. TFT will see what they can do on their CT side. It's a peek out of Wolfie straight away, but oh dear, he's already dead. B-bomb site forced to the rotate. 2 players already down toward the... We'll make that 3 down toward the connector position and rotating through CT, but it's just Vanity left now. They broke the windows on Popdog, maybe trying to force the rotate out. Vanity pushing himself close. We'll see what he can do. Oh. Okay. HNS wrapped up for 3K. Quick's taken down 1, and the same for Perron. Second kill of his entire game. Confirmed the pistol there. 13-3. Final Tribe, they pick up a great round to begin with.
Yeah, it is fairly a good start from them, but again, it is kind of, as we said in the first half, a bit of an insurmountable task at the moment, perhaps too little too late, but we'll see. Some nice consolation rounds, and again, this is a series we didn't really expect them to have a great time in, and they've really given a good run, given Alternate aTTaX, I should say, a good run for their money, and I suppose a very clean round coming in from them as well, as to be expected. Pretty full eco, but it just seems, the tank is all out of gas at this point, as the Americans would say, and it's just not looking as good as it once was. The first rifle round comes in very, very quickly here from Alternate aTTaX. They are wanting to close this one out as fast as possible. They got stuff to do this evening, so they want to be getting it sorted. And the Final Tribe, it's a bonus round kind of thing from them. Vanity has enough for an M4. I feel like every little would help at this point. Quicks has enough for an M4 as well. I get the logic, but you're so far down that you don't want to be making things hard for you, surely. I don't know, man. Wolfie left on 60 HP off the back of the Molotov. No kill coming in from it, but good early damage. Perrin as well, I think, getting naded down. Dude also getting naded down. A lot of unseen damage so far that could make a difference later on in the round, but at the moment it's not resulting in anything too crazy. So just a bit of a slower start. Again, it is within the realms. It's not quite as close, but obviously the game completely hangs in the balance here, especially for Final Tribe. And HNS going to open up, gives them a bit of breathing room, but a double spray down from Mantu as they come in from Ivy. Wolfie and Quicks will trade a couple back. But we have seen these situations, these dire situations, go the way of Alternate aTTaX on that CT side. Can they do the same here on the T side? It's looking more and more likely. Mantu will get taken down, but Stefan makes sure to trade him back. now, I believe, into the one-on-one, is it
think
not?
so, yeah.
Unless, yeah, the HUD's a little bit bugged out there, but all the same, I think someone's dropped out. That's why. It's Quicks on 19 HP up against Stefan, just to be clear. As the time ticks down, he's got to get his hands onto the bomb. He's got to get the plant in as well. Goes for the fake. Quicks is going to take the baits, and he will end up getting hooked. Stefan takes him out. A 1 versus 2 comes in. Alternate aTTaX will get their 14th round.
Yeah, and like you said, it was just part of the steamroll process. Final Tribe, as soon as they were onto the rifles, were... yeah. Challenged all the way by ATN, and of course, exactly the same to come in this one. A good start again out of alternate aTTaX, even if they give up the couple of rounds there with the pistol. But AWP in the hands of Quicks, at least some IV aggression shown very quickly out of alternate aTTaX. They know now that it's the pace what Final Tribe can't deal with. So far, beautiful spam by Mantu. Closing out Perron through the smoke, already going to significantly decrease the firepower of TFT. With the fact that already, first man dead, no damage to be returned back to ATN. Mantu, with the solid series he's had so far, 2.25 KD on him as well. He's feeling his game is going to be straight down toward Ivy. Although Vanity, see what he can deliver in this sort of position. He's up in toward heaven. Cressy seeming aware of it, and with a UMP, the flash is beautiful. Nothing that Vanity could do about it there. The B bomb site is unfortunately already lost, and as Mantu takes out the flanks, while Slacks does get cleaned up, it shouldn't make too much of an insurmountable difference. Mantu cleaned up yet again. And it is all down to Quicks. He might get one on the exit, which he definitely does, but too little too late, unfortunately. 15-4, no money left in the bank for Final Tribe. And I think this does spell the end of the series. A rough one to take on Train, but alternate aTTaX definitely just showing what they're made of when it comes down to it. Quicks, they now know where he is. They're not even going to let him save. And that should be it. Nothing to carry over. Nothing to be brought up that could make a huge difference. I think this is where it's done.
Maybe. Probably about a 90% chance, I think. Especially with the way alternate aTTaX have been playing. Up against the desperate force by Final Tribe, just trying to cling on a little while longer. They are hanging on to the cliff just with their pinky finger at the moment. Maybe they have an opportunity to get a bit of a better grip if they can win this one, but it's going to be tough to get all the way back up. H&S left on 60 HP. Well, 59 to be technical, but about the same. He takes a chunk of damage, is the point. And again, the unseen damage from alternate aTTaX just kind of shows, once again, how comfortable they kind of are with the map. That they're able to just throw in a few safe nades that can get some good damage early on. Looks like they're going to edge towards B. Quicks is moving up slowly here. Might be able to get the drop, and he does on one. It's actually the bomb as well, but unfortunately swapping across to the AK will be traded easily enough. Wolfie, meanwhile, coming up ramp, takes down Mantu, so they're doing well in the chaos here, Final Tribe, to just sort of split the T's apart. But not done and dusted yet. Still up against the very strong weaponry that alternate aTTaX have got available. That AWP of Slacks particularly going to be hard work for these pistols. Only really the Deagle that can contest at long range, plus the utility they have available. They also have no idea they're coming in from Ivy. Oh, H&S. Flash going to come in. He does get taken down by Cressy. A few too many angles to be watching. Perrin now falls to the same fates. Those CZs, they're good, you know, up close, certainly, as we saw a little earlier on in the round, but ultimately, in the end, not going to be good enough. Wolfie finds one. Looking good here on the C side of his own, but low HP up against the AK and the Krieg. Not going to fare very well. And Vanity to keep his team alive for another round. Not going to happen as he walks down the ladder. Was expecting, or hoping, rather, that Cressy was nowhere near, and unfortunately is watching it. A 4K coming in from Cressy to finish things off. 16-4 for alternate aTTaX. 2-1 overall. and it was a hard-fought battle, but they did get a bit of an easy time there on train.
Yeah, and I think that was overall the scoreline that I think we were particularly sort of predicting, but maybe not as dominant as that sort of 16-4 would show. Maybe a 16-7 or a 16-8 that we would have sort of thought about on this map. But yeah, a very dominant showing from Alternate aTTaX that does wrap up the series. And, well, they do save themselves into the Swiss system. Of course, they'll be now in 1-1. Final Tribe have to face that 0-2 elimination battle now. But anything's possible, of course. That is going to wrap up what has been a very exciting series for today. And, of course, we'll be back tomorrow. Some very interesting games. Unique offset to kick things off. Izako Boars versus Gambit Youngsters. I think going to be one of my better games to watch tomorrow with Gambit Youngsters. Shiro's looked hot since the CIS Esports Pro Championship. And then Habu Dream Eaters to wrap things up. But of course, it has been a pleasure, and we'll thank you for watching. And if you would like to hit up with a follower on Twitter, you can definitely do so for Scriv at Scrivcast and for myself at Vortex Kieran. Our names are in the command right here or in the handles on the Twitch stream. But with that being said, that is it from us. Make sure to check out the main sponsor of this tournament, Loot.bet, of course. We have some promotions in chat if that is something you want to check out. But with that being said, we'll leave you all. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you all tomorrow.
Loot.bet. Made for live betting.